Kanye West, he would be facing sex trafficking charges if it was anywhere else.
Gene Deal has exposed 5 major celebrities for their ties to Diddy, some of whom include Kanye, Jay-Z, and Usher. These reveals are so huge that they have led to many people questioning why 50 Cent removed them from the documentary in the first place. We will go by across the celebrities and their alleged ties to Diddy one by one. The first celeb that Gene brought up in his latest interview was none other than Usher, talking about how he saw things at a young age that he shouldn't have been around. Again, that statement says a lot on its own.
A lot of celebrities that saw it. It's probably a lot of stuff. Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself.
It suggests Usher was exposed to situations that weren't appropriate for someone his age, especially in those environments. Gene Deal has revealed something truly shocking about the life Usher spent with Diddy. According to these claims, Diddy and Usher had a situation that eventually led to Usher being taken to the hospital.
I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
Gene Deal said Usher himself has hinted at this before, even if he never went into full detail. Because of that, Gene questions why Usher would later defend or praise someone who allegedly mistreated him during his younger years.
Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Gene then recalled a specific memory from that time period to explain why this issue matters so much to him. He said he personally witnessed behavior that made it clear the environment around Diddy was not appropriate, especially for young artists who were still learning and trying to fit in. In fact, one major thing the documentary chose to censor and not talk about was Diddy doing something so horrific to Usher that it sent him to the hospital.
About some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that. And they may be doing some programs. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that. And then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when people say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, you know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
He said this shows that certain things were happening and some people were aware of it. But in the industry, staying quiet is common. Gene Deal then talked about what he personally witnessed when it came to Diddy and Jamie Foxx, and he made it clear he could only speak on what he saw with his own eyes. He said he first met Jamie Foxx on a tour bus during a trip he barely remembers now. At the time, the vibe seemed friendly, but nothing about it felt like a deep relationship. But then he found out Jamie and Diddy were doing something truly horrific to women together.
Some friendship stuff, and it was a tour bus, and Puff was in the back, and there was a lot of girls in the front, and Jamie was just real touchy-feely, but Puff didn't come out the back. I don't know if Puff came out the back of the tour bus. You understand? And Jamie went back there for a minute or so, then he just came out, and he was all touchy-feely with the girls, and I'm looking at this dude like, wow, this dude kind of like touchy-feely with these girls, and he don't even know them. They know him because he's Jamie Foxx, but he didn't know them. So I don't really know their real relationship or how close they was. I didn't meet Jamie Foxx and really have a conversation with him until I was at his house.
What makes that entire statement worse is that Jamie Foxx has long been known to love partying with Diddy and participating in his freak-offs. In fact, he once talked about teaching Diddy how to party on a budget. Watch this. Why would the FBI be with Puffy? That's a rather interesting admission that Jamie makes, especially when we look at it in hindsight. Could it be that Diddy was a known FBI asset back then? Let us know in the comments. The next celebrity that Gene exposed for seemingly being cut from the documentary was none other than Ja Rule. Gene said their story started in Atlanta. He and Diddy went into a specialty store while they were on the road. Apparently, it was his first time ever going into a place like that with Diddy, and he was surprised by how comfortable Diddy seemed there.
Time I ever went to an exotic bookstore, you know, with Puff, I didn't know he even did that, but we was in Atlanta. So when we went through the door, they gave him a brown paper bag, so I guess this is a place that he was used to and people knew him there. So when they gave him a brown paper bag, Puff was just going around the store, just picking items off the shelves and stuff like that, putting them in the brown paper bag. So then, you know, I was behind him and no Diddy, but I was about 3 feet behind him, you know what I'm saying, as he was putting stuff and putting it in his bag and stuff like that. So there's one particular place that he was put up there, he had to reach up kind of high and get it. So he just started pulling things out, and he was pulling a lot of them off there. So I was like, so I looked up and the thing said butt plugs. When he walking down the thing, said butt plugs. I said, hey yo, just to mess with him. I said, hey yo, what are you getting these for? And he said, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yes, you can. And I waited up at the register for him, you know, because they had the big counter up there. So when he came to the counter, I said, yo, I'm finna see what this mofo is putting in his bag, because I know he gonna have to take everything and put it on the counter so the dude could count it, right? My man, when he came there, he gave the dude a wad of hundreds like this. You know what I'm saying? He gave him a wad of 100 and just put it up there. The dude ain't even, you know what I'm saying? He ain't even want to know what was in the bag.
After that, they boarded a private jet and headed to North Carolina for a show. Ja Rule was traveling with them. During the flight, Gene said Diddy kept pushing Ja to go after Jay-Z musically.
He was talking bad and talking crazy about Jay-Z, and how Ja was talking about if it wasn't for him, that Jay wouldn't be the artist he was. He got him started. You know, he wrote certain things and stuff like that to put him out there, because, you know, back in the day, nobody was even effing with Jay like that. So, but Puff was trying to, he was adamant about Ja going at